Hi folks, Canadian Prepper here. So we're going to lighten up the channel a little bit today, and we're going to talk about who is the biggest prepper in the whole wide world. And I'm not talking about the US government. They are far away number one. Who is the second biggest prepper in the world? Let's talk about it. All right, so as many of you guys know, I'm one of the biggest Tesla bulls in the preparedness community. I think it's probably one of the best American companies ever to have existed, and I think that's going to be quite evident in the next 10 years. But what I want to talk about today is something that I've been thinking about, and I truly think that Elon Musk is probably the world's biggest prepper, and he makes no bones about it. Anyone who aspires to making a base on Mars, just in case the shit hits the fan on Earth and civilization as we know it ends here, has to claim the title of the world's biggest prepper. Not only that, to actually build your own space program to achieve that end. And he's been on record as saying that, look, if we don't invent artificial intelligence, the human race is going to go extinct. If we don't become a multi-planetary species, then there's a good chance that we are going to die on this rock. So we see an interesting dovetailing here between survivalism and futurism. You know, oftentimes preppers are thought of as quite regressive and people who are living in the past, they're stuck in tradition. But here we have a merger of these two ideas. On the one hand, we're talking about survival, but in the case of Elon Musk and Tesla, they're talking about the survival of the human race. And that is compelling them to innovate all of these amazing technologies that I'm going to talk about today. So today I'm going to give you 5 reasons why at once Elon Musk and Tesla are both overtly and covertly the world's biggest preppers. So the first one I've already talked about, and that's wanting to become an interplanetary species by moving this whole operation to Mars. This would essentially make Mars the world's biggest bunker. Now, on the topic of bumpers, and this isn't part of the big 5, but Musk also has the Boring Company, which is a tunnel boring company, because they want to make these subterranean tunnels which go potentially miles deep, which are going to transport people underneath the surface. Now, who else has dug tunnels in the past like there's no tomorrow, and who is probably still digging tunnels in preparation for World War III? China. Anyways, I just thought I would throw that one in there because it's just another one of the ways that Tesla is inadvertently saving us from human extinction. Now, one of the biggest preparedness products that Tesla is bringing to market, in my opinion, has to be the Cybertruck. Everybody knows that I love the Cybertruck. I probably was one of the first people to get one reserved. I reserved the tri-motor. It's probably not going to be available till like 2023, even 2024. Apparently, they're now going to build a factory in Texas where they're actually going to make the Cybertruck. So if you want something that is American, that's innovative, then you better be investing in a Cybertruck. And if you consider yourself a prepper, I personally don't think there's a better vehicle out there. Yes, horses are going to last you longer. Yes, a diesel is going to be great because you can store the fuel longer. Yes, a multi-fuel system or a gasification system is going to have some uses. But at the end of the day, a vehicle like the Tesla Cybertruck that can run on the sun has few moving parts, has, like I say, the tri-motor system, can go 0 to 100 in 2.9 seconds. Okay, it's probably going to have phenomenal off-road capabilities. It's got adaptive air suspension. It's got the 30 times cold-rolled stainless steel body, which they hit with a sledgehammer, and it doesn't flinch. They got that polymer infused glass or whatever they're using for the windows. Now, I know they screwed up at the demonstration. They threw the ball and smashed the window. That's all going to be fixed. Regardless, I don't really care. I don't really need bulletproof glass, okay? But that's just a bonus if they do fix that anyways. It's going to have a range of 500 miles, and it's going to have autopilot. Think about the autopilot feature in a post-collapse environment. The things you could do if you wanted to ride shotgun in your own car, literal shotgun, remember, because we're talking about the post-apocalypse, you know, marauders are chasing you. Imagine the Mad Max capability of a vehicle that you can program to drive itself while you're hanging out the edge of the window with a shotty. I'm just saying. I can imagine, you know, a Mad Max scenario where that might come in a little handy. Also, what about delivering supplies from point A to point B? It's too risky. You don't want to put people in the car, but you want to ship supplies to the tribe or community down the road. Load them into the Tesla car, say, drive that way. They get their stuff, they send it back, nobody gets hurt. Obviously, I'm being a bit facetious here, but I think you get the point. There's a lot of utility for a self-driving capability, which is not grid dependent. So it doesn't rely on GPS, it only relies on the cameras and the software that's in the vehicle. Now, the next thing that makes Tesla the ultimate company for preppers is the Powerwall. Okay, the Powerwall is a 13.5 kilowatt hour battery system that you put in your house. I believe that they're stackable up to 10, so you could potentially have 130 kilowatt hours of power. I'm not sure if you guys know much about power, but that can power your home for a long, long time. These systems have 5 kilowatt hour continuous output. Okay, they have a 7.5 kilowatt hour peak, so you could essentially power your entire home off of one of these units. That's another thing about the Cybertruck. The Cybertruck itself, you can use it as a power source. So it's one thing to have all these solar panels, but where are you going to store the power? Well, you're going to store it in the battery of the Cybertruck or your Tesla Powerwall. And the Tesla batteries are leaps and bounds ahead of the competition. They're going to be doing a battery day, I believe sometime in September, and they're going to be releasing what a lot of people are hoping is going to be the 1 million mile battery. Okay, so that means that you're going to be able to use the same battery to drive 1 million miles. So Tesla is getting out of the planned obsolescent model. They're going with a model of, we want you to have a car that's actually going to appreciate in value, because we're going to send you software upgrades. You're going to be able to upgrade it in ways that you can't a normal car. Plus, you're going to be able to use that car as a revenue source, because once the full level 5 self-driving does come around, you're going to be able to use your car as a robo-taxi. So with all of that said, how can a prepper not appreciate exactly what Elon Musk is trying to do? And from a libertarian perspective, how many times has Elon Musk bucked the system? Okay, whether it was the Fremont factory stuff that recently went down with the lockdowns, or whether it's the fact that this was one of the most hated stocks by Wall Street for years, of course, until it took off, and it still to this day is one of the most hated stocks on Wall Street. Remember, anyways, continue on with the specs with the Powerwall. So you get 100% deep discharge capability. That means you can totally drain the battery, charge it back up, and it's still going to function as it should. It's also going to have a 10-year warranty. And in addition to that, the batteries within that system, like I said, they're only going to get better over time. Now, granted, a Tesla Powerwall is a lot of money. It's going to run you $10,000. But when you're talking about what it can actually do, and then when you pair that with number 3, the Tesla solar roof, or just Tesla solar panels in general, that's where this company, you cannot find a tech company whose innovations are not more supportive of self-reliance and preparedness than Tesla. You have Cybertruck, you have Powerwall, now you have the solar roof. These solar roofs are built to withstand golf ball size hail being hurled at 200 miles an hour. Okay, they're built to last 25 years, and they're basically a replacement for the shingles on your roof. They're stronger than shingles, they're gonna last longer, and they're gonna supply your house with power in a way which is far more inconspicuous than conventional solar panels. Now, the 5th reason why Tesla is the #1 company for preppers, we've talked about the Mars base, we've talked about Cybertruck, we've talked about Powerwall, we've talked about the solar roof. Number 5 is this thing called Starlink. What this is a system of low Earth orbit satellites which are going to allow you to get internet, high-speed internet, broadband internet capabilities anywhere on the planet. It doesn't matter if you're in the deepest, darkest corners of the Canadian boreal forest, you are going to be able to get high-speed internet. Can you believe that? No matter where you are in the world, because it's going to be projected down by these low Earth orbit satellites. Now, apparently that's going to be first available within the next couple years in North America. So hopefully that plays out well. One of the greatest things about this technology is that there's a lot of what they call space junk up there. A lot of satellites, a lot of debris, which is cluttering that layer of space. Because these are operating in low Earth orbit, when they are decommissioned, they're just going to burn up in the atmosphere a lot faster than the satellites which are further out are going to burn out. So basically, once they've done their time, they self-destruct. Now, if we're talking about a dystopian Hunger Games society where you don't want to be tracked in the wilderness, then of course you have the option of not flicking the switch and turning your internet on. You pull your battery out of your phone and they can never track you, okay? So for that reason then, I think that every prepper in their right mind should be supporting what Tesla is trying to do. Think about what they're trying to do. They're trying to take power away from the oil companies, the people that want you to rely on their fuel in order to survive, essentially. So you don't have to rely on big oil anymore. You don't have to rely on the power companies because you have your Tesla Powerwall. You don't have to rely on these internet service providers or cell towers to get service for the internet, to keep you connected while you are essentially disconnected. So that's what's so great about this system, is that it connects you to the world, it empowers you, but it also affords you the ability to be self-reliant at the same time. So I would say that if there was ever a company that the all-American prepper himself should be supporting and condoning, but I know he never will because he loves his gas-guzzling deuce and a half, is Tesla, Starlink, the Boring Company. All of these innovations are helping people become more self-reliant. Let me know what you think in the comment section, guys. Stay tuned. The next video we're going to be dropping in the next few days here is 10 reasons why you are not prepared for what's coming and what you need to do to tighten up your emergency preparedness plan. Thanks for watching, guys. Canadian Prepper out.
The best way to support this channel is to support yourself by gearing up at CanadianPreparedness.com, your one-stop shop for premium, high-quality, brand-name products that have been tried and tested by myself and other YouTube gear reviewers. My subscribers save 10% off by using the coupon code SURVIVALPREPPER. All one word in all caps.